What's up, guys? This is Bolvi the Fell-Handed, and I thought since I was doing some premium tanks lately here, the AMX Chaffee, as well as the T-34-88, I would go ahead and put in the captured KV-1. Now, this tank is pretty awesome. I've got to be straightforward. It is a DPM machine. Granted, it does not do loads of damage. It does a tiny amount of damage, but you know what they say, death from 1,000 cuts. This tank is that. If you can pull up on someone and catch them out in the open, it is more or less a wrap because you can just rain pain down on them. And you know, this tank does have a little bit of armor, as it is a heavy tank. The mobility is not so much. However, it is more mobile than the KV-2, which is, you know, sluggish where it should not be sluggish. Moving on. Now, we are on Heilbronn, if I am pronouncing that right, and we have decided to head into the city, because that is typically where your heavy tanks go. Granted, of course, there is not any artillery to bother me. However, I am heading towards the city. Hopefully, I can catch someone unawares and DPM the mess out of them. Now, you do kind of have to be careful on getting overwhelmed. People see these tanks and they tend to attack in packs, if you will, which is a wise move, because if you attack this tank one-on-one out in the open, it will cut you to pieces. The best thing to do is your T-34-88 tactic I was speaking about yesterday, is pull out from cover, take a shot, pull back in, reload. If you dart out of cover coming to attack this tank, you are going to give up your primary weapon, which is your damage per minute. You're going essentially to hand over your strength and give it to this gentleman, who will most likely just continue to pelt you with rounds until you go back to the garage. Unless, of course, you can out DPM him, and I'm not really sure. Maybe the Ram 2 comes close, I don't know. Moving on, we have multiple targets up here. Everyone is afraid to engage, except little old me. I have a DPM hose, and I fully intend on letting the water out, if you catch my drift. Going to come around the corner here. I'm fully aware I'm going to take one in the side, and that's fine. At this point, I am willing to trade. I say never trade because you are losing, but you know what? In this case, it's fine, because I came around the corner, he put that shot into me, and then every single round that I had from then on out pinned, where he did not pin me anymore aside from the one side shot. You will notice I switched to APCR as soon as I saw what lays before me, and the idea here is I want to come in here and I want to make sure that I can really put some pain down range without him, you know, kind of getting in too close and really doing a number on me. He's just barreling right down here, and he passes me, and I immediately think, well, you know what, it's time to get circle jerked by a heavy tank. And this is exactly what I was saying is the weakness of you charging a tank like this, especially one with such a slow DPM as the Japanese heavy tank before me. So just keep in mind, guys, if you are going to charge this tank, make sure you have plenty of health, APCR so you don't bounce, and a halfway decent gun. So we make a shot there, and we're just auto-locking, guys. And finally I said, you know what, the turret's caught up with him. This is more or less a guaranteed shot. Let's go ahead and pull the trigger on it. And of course, as you've seen, I have switched back to AP rounds, which in this tank should be more than enough. I am concerned a little bit about a light tank on my 6. He's kind of zooming around back there, and I'm a little concerned he may get close and try to put some damage on me. So that's in the back of my mind. I'm a little concerned about that. I know how light tanks are. I have done this myself numerous times. Circle a larger opponent, one who can easily take you out, and you know, you end up being the victor. So I am just in the back of my mind, I am very concerned about this light tank's comings and goings. The lucky part is I have a lot of rounds and a good TPM, so I have numerous chances to hit this guy. But you know, it's not really going to take me that long once I kind of get the direction and everything, and you know, have a halfway decent shot. I can normally shut the light tank down. So I am advancing on their cap, and at the same time I am always concerned about campers. I know there are a lot of guys out there who play who don't normally go more than 50 meters from the cap, 100 meters tops, so I'm very concerned I'm going to run into this tank destroyer. As you can see, he is on the map right now, so I'm concerned that he's just going to come around the corner and put one in me, because I am a one-shot pretty much for anything on the board as long as it has a decent enough gun. There are 2 guys left, so I don't really have a whole lot to worry about as far as, you know, where the round is going to come from. But as you can see, the tank destroyer, which was positioned directly ahead of me, is only about 100 meters away from the cap tops. And, you know, I'm not necessarily saying you shouldn't camp. I'm just saying get out there and do some damage. It's often hard to do that a lot of times if you remain at the cap the entire game. So this is a battle obviously I am going to lose. We are sitting here DPMing each other. I am on the winning team here. I am pumping more damage into him than he is me, but at the same time he had considerably more health than I did. Thus, I lost. But it's okay. We did fairly good. We did 1633. Not amazing, but at the same time we still did well. Guys, I hope you enjoy. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share.